Great to have you this morning. Where are we broadly in terms of valuations in the chip space? Have all the headwinds been baked in?
So not all the headwinds have been baked in. We are what I would describe as going through the bottoming process. So we've had, about a quarter worth of issues with most of our companies that are particularly related to consumer PCs and handsets. And now we're seeing some of that weakness spread to things like IoT and even industrial IoT. The two areas that seem to be hanging on really well appear to be data center and cloud, and then of course automotive. So we're at a point where a lot of the chip end markets are going through some digestion of sort, but a couple of end markets are still hanging on. So I would say we're into it, and we are looking to come out of this sort of correction for most of the industries and end markets in about a quarter or two.
Okay, we'll dive into specific categories, but I want to talk about spending as well, Kumar. When we had the chip shortage, we saw those spending plans put into place, really ramp up. Over the last few months, we've seen some of those CapEx plans come back a little bit. Where is that in terms of the bottoming progress? Do you think that there's more cuts to come?
I do believe there are more cuts to come. So there is still a little bit of excess inventory in handsets. There is still inventory in the PC segment. And the big question mark, of course, with the rise in interest rates is whether autos will hang on or will autos correct. Autos seem to be the last strength, along with data centers. So with companies seeing what they're seeing, with companies seeing a weak consumer, I think it's very prudent that they are bringing in some of this, some of the CapEx spend. Particularly, you've seen that from companies like that are involved in industrial, that are involved in mobile, that are involved in PC space.
Harsh, so what about Qualcomm coming up this afternoon and evening? I mean, I guess part of the question is, are smartphones going to surprise to the downside more than in autos and industrial IoT surprises to the upside? When I was talking to CEO Cristiano Amon at their Auto Investor Day just a few weeks ago, he was saying, boy, these companies are moving toward electric vehicles, toward ADAS, despite what's happening in the broader economy. So does that mean their growth is likely to be stable?
So Qualcomm is an interesting one. And what's interesting about Qualcomm is it's such a massive player in the handset space. So when you break down the revenues, for example, for Qualcomm, you get somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 to 50% of revenues that are associated, even more than that are associated with handsets. So it's like, in a funny way, it's like turning a ship around. It just takes a long amount of time. They are having some great success in IoT. They're having some tremendous success in automotive. But on a relative basis, those businesses are tiny compared to how much of a player they are in the handset space. And that really is the issue. They're doing all the right things, and we love what they're doing. And we do believe that in the next 4 to 5 years, there'll be a very strong player in non-handset related things. But it's just going to take time given the exposure to handsets.